The Marinade.
There's no O in marinade. Let's try it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
The Marinade.
Marinade.
Bone marinade.
That's
The Marinade.
The Marinade. With Jason Earle.
I saw you standing there with a worry on your face of the next move I'd make, but that just wasn't the case. You just had to walk away. As I stood there before you, like the bearer of the courtroom, not the plaintiff on parade. When I'm asked about that day, I remember the breath you take and the rejection in your eyes, but the projection didn't fade. I don't blame you anymore for the mess we hadn't made. Like my father once told me, you gotta give to get a day.
Welcome to The Marinade with Jason Earle, episode 25, the third in our 2018 in Review series. I've invited a few artists whose work I appreciate to record episodes discussing our favorite albums of 2018 and then just getting down about creative process. On this episode, Jordan Foley and I talk about American Aquarium's Things Change. BJ Barham, frontman and songwriter for American Aquarium, said yes to this show before we had even released an episode, and for that, I will forever be grateful. If you haven't listened to episode 1 or 16 of The Marinade, both of which are with BJ Barham, I highly recommend going back and listening to those for context. It's not necessary. This episode with Jordan stands on its own, but a little context might help. You can connect with Jordan at jordanfoleymusic.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the third of our 2018 in Review series, Jordan Foley talking American Aquarium's Things Change.
Space on the floor we didn't lay, and I'll remember your face as the pretty one by the bay, as we dreamt about the future and watched it all fade away. As we dreamt about the future and watched it all fade away. As we dreamt about the future and watched it all fade away.
Let's not go there. Why'd you choose Things Change?
Why did I choose Things Change?
Yeah.
Are we starting on it?
Yeah.
You just record and
I
kinda
just
go with it?
record, and what's
You
good I
edit and
keep,
everything
and
goes?
yeah, what's not good I
It's
let
very
go of.
informal. I like it.
Yeah.
I did the NPR one over in Orlando.
Oh, nice.
And it was like he asked you questions and then you lead into it. And I was like, that's cool. So I like this. It's nice and chill.
Yeah, it's much more. I mean, the whole spirit of it, the idea of this show is to explore your creative process.
Yeah.
So, and to celebrate creativity. So,
for sure.
You know, I feel like a lot of times if it's like, okay, now we're on and we're with Jordan.
We're live.
I mean, there's nothing wrong
Hey,
with
everybody, we're here.
that. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Terry Gross does that beautifully.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it works.
Like she's a
definitely
genius,
works
but it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really what I'm trying to do.
That's cool. This is something I will tell you. I just recently started listening to podcasts. And the only one that I've been listening to, other than like some of yours, was The Working Songwriter with
so
Joe
good.
Pug.
So good.
Because like he's so damn good with what he talks about,
Yeah.
and he's so calm. Like his voice is so relaxed.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, and he's one of my favorite songwriters.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's Kyle Keller's favorite songwriter.
Yeah, okay.
Have you met Kyle yet? Did you meet Kyle at the show?
Yeah.
Man, he's one of my best.
great.
We've only known each other a year, and like
Yeah.
we just immediately became best friends.
Well, it was at Folk, and I was in the bathroom line at Indy's.
Oh yeah.
And these guys started talking because everybody there was a musician except like me and like 3 other people. So we were talking, and I told him why I was there and what I do, and so then we started talking. Then I went and saw his set. Yeah. And it just blew me away.
Yeah.
Like he writes great songs.
Yeah. And I think he does this thing where he beats himself up on stage. He will say like, man, this is a sad song. Get ready to have sad songs, but they are, but they're so gripping. Yeah. In the best way possible, like. Well,
and I told him, I gave him a compliment afterward. I said that like, the authenticity of what you do and the painfulness of what you do reminds me of BJ Barham. All right, so let's talk.
Yeah,
let's talk about
Things Change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you had asked, why did I choose Things Change? So my influence has it stretches across the board of Americana, blues, folk, alternative. And I was listening to some of American Aquarium's older stuff, BJ's solo record, Madeline, and Madeline in particular, but that one too. And I was listening to Lonely Ain't Easy, and honestly, Spotify recommended them, so I didn't really know a whole lot about American Aquarium before like 2 years ago, and then I saw that The World Is on Fire came out. And I was like, I'm going to give this a listen. And then I didn't stop listening to it. Like, it was just that song on repeat for weeks. Yep. And, like, even, I'm the type of guy where, like, I will get tired of music. I burn it out. So, like, I was just telling somebody, like, I always like music before it gets popular. Yeah. And then it gets popular, and then I'm like, okay. Like, it's just a natural, instinctive thing for me.
I think a lot of people feel that same way.
Yeah. But American Aquarium was different in that sense, where like I heard it and I just wanted to keep hearing it. That's great. It was about the lyrics, what the message is in the world that we're in right now, and the situation politically and globally, that we're all facing problems and hardships and mental health issues and depression, and it was like and hardship, and BJ with his writing just took everything that you might be feeling, and he can just take one line and just make you feel something, and like that just goes a long way. The album came out, and I just lost it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I just would not stop listening to it. Immediately bought the record. They came to Orlando, played at Will's Pub, like a month or two later, I think. Maybe a month later.
Right after. Yeah. I think the record came out in May, and they came in July. I interviewed him in July, so it was the summer. It was July.
And I bought the record. I already bought a hat. I bought a BJ Barham hat because I felt like, well,
that one.
Yeah, that one. I almost wore it. I wore this one instead.
That one's dope. I like that.
Yeah, I like this one. I actually have 3 now. And I almost wore my American Aquarium t-shirt because I just love their music, man.
Yeah,
it's not. I've never fanboyed so hard on an album.
That's great.
Or an artist or anything.
Yeah.
And like I will say though, with Things Change, my favorite song on the entire album is Crooked and Straight. Crooked and Straight just encompasses everything that I've dealt with personally in a weird way, where it's like it was like BJ wrote it, but I could have felt it. Like I could have written. Yeah. I've done. I mean, personal family matters. Maybe not necessarily the whole, like nicotine or tobacco farms. Right. Not to that extent. I mean, I'm not. I didn't grow up in that type of situation, but everybody deals with family hardships. Yeah. And my parents and my I have my parents and my older brother, and we've just we've had to deal with some things. Right. And I won't get too far into that, but like when you have that sort of thing, it's always like you have to remember the base of the fact that things are going to go well and things are not going to go well, and it's a matter of trying to intertwine the two. And BJ just expressed that so much. He, the whole son, the road ain't easy. Like that line alone, I just feel like my dad has told me that like a million times. Right. Like shit's hard. Yeah, you're gonna have to really dig. Right. To get to where you want. And so like that's something that really resonated with me as soon as the album came out.
Yeah. What about the religious kind of part of that? Was that part of your upbringing too?
It was. I don't talk about it too much. Okay. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. Like okay. I'm an open book, as you can tell. Like it doesn't faze me with like, I just don't want to get too like. I always try to like watch my P's and Q's because I don't want to like upset one side of people or the other. Yeah. I'm very open to anybody's beliefs. Okay. But yes, I did grow up Christian. I grew up going to a Presbyterian church right down the street from my house in Pittsburgh. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay. And I was just very involved with the church. And so I did learn a bit of faith, to have faith and to not feel like you're going it alone. Yeah. And then in that, I think BJ embarks on that too, or is relatable in that sense where there's questioning. There's constant like, why does this happen over that? Why is, right. Like what is the eternal goal of life if we're all just struggling? Right. That sort of thought. Yeah. Those deep existential things that I feel like is what gravitates us toward music in general. Totally agree. If I wasn't freaking out about my existence all the time, I might not listen to music at all. Or just that's pop really music. Valid. I think about that all the time. Like, why am I singing a sad song over you? You could be coming up. You could come up and sing a sad song, and then people come up or people come into the bar and they're like play something upbeat. And I'm like man, I don't want to. Yeah, there's sometimes where I just don't. You need to feel something. I think with playing shows, I've learned there are things you got to work out. Right. It's honestly my therapy to that extent of like I'm up there not just on my own. I'm with the crowd. Right. But the crowd is getting a piece of me. Right. I'm not fake. I don't have a persona. I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to say some stuff that maybe some people might not even like, but it's not to upset anybody. It's just to be me. Yeah. Because I think the genuity of being honest is like the most important thing about being a musician. Or a singer-songwriter even. Right, and I think that there's so many. Every one of these conversations is different. Yeah. But there are certain common threads. Yeah. The truth. Right? And authenticity. Dude, that's it. I mean, I'm a terrible liar. I'll admit it. Like, my parents raised me to just not be able to lie. Yeah. Like, Jordan, did you do that? Yeah. Yeah. I did that. Why did you do it? I just decided I thought it'd be a good idea. I don't know what to tell you guys. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. But that stems out to your life. Obviously we lie at some point, but you have to be I'm very choosy. I want to be authentic. Right. I think authenticity and honesty is the most. It's gotten me a lot further in life than not being honest. Wow. I feel like I always get stifled. I always get like, if I lie, somebody's going to be like, right. You done screwed up, kid. Right. Like, it's going to be karma. I believe in all that. And it's really hard once you've done somebody wrong or lied. It's just like if your reputation becomes something negative, it's real hard to build that back up. It's easy to destroy it. Yeah. That one lie can totally mess up how people think about you. Well, yeah, and like more often than not, lies end up being mistakes rather than honesty. You know, telling the truth isn't going to hurt you in the long run half as bad as a lie would.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting some good songwriting material in this conversation.
Yeah, I've got pens and pads everywhere,
that's
man.
Awesome.
If you
that's
need.
great. No, this is good.
Are you a pen to paper person, or do you?
Well, I usually write in my notes on my phone. So
you
I
do?
guess maybe that's.
Yeah.
I should keep that out there.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think because you know I think a lot of times what ends up happening if people lie, or I'm trying to think from my own experience, because I generally. I can relate to what you said about not being very good at lying. It's not. Yeah. I feel a lot of, because I grew up Baptist. I feel a lot of I feel a lot of like guilt. You know. Yeah. Chris and I call it the guilties. Just that, cool. You know, especially that's like cool. If I have a couple of beers and I do like something. That. Yeah. You know, yeah. I feel like I could do something totally innocuous that it doesn't hurt anybody at all, and I still wake up feeling like a piece of shit. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's something that's, you know, on a global scale. Excuse me, people are experiencing that more frequently than ever right now. Yeah. Is just feeling like a piece of shit. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's a matter of what you do with that. Because you could be depressed, or you could have your own struggles and your own problems. I mean, we all do. Right. But it's a matter of what's your outlet to find the good in things, or you know, what are some things that you want to hold on to and be passionate about. I think with music, I'll admit it's been a detriment to my social life a little bit, but it's not so much in the sense where I'm only doing this and can't breathe. And I just think that I've always been the type of person to wear different hats. I mean, I work a day job. I work 8 to 4:30 every day, Monday through Friday, and then I play 3 to 4 shows a week.
Damn, Jordan.
Yeah, but I made it my life. I mean, I think so. A little backstory about myself. Yeah. 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago, I was a middle school English teacher. I did that for 5 years. I taught 7th and 8th grade English. I was a track coach. Really? I coached shot put and discus. I coached the middle school boys basketball team to the championship. Oh, what? Went undefeated. They were just really good. Buckets. Yeah, like I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. I was just encouraging. Like, you got this.
Wait, seriously, you didn't have a basketball background or anything, or
no.
Did you?
No? Oh no, I mean I played basketball. Sure. But I love coaching. Yeah. I think it's one of the coolest things that we could do as a human being. Is to instruct somebody else. I loved teaching. Right. I love the idea of teaching. I miss it. I think about that a lot. That like someday I would like to be a songwriting teacher, or like do something that I'm passionate about and try to like influence others on that aspect. Yeah. But yeah, used to be a teacher.
So why'd you get out?
Well, as a teacher at the school that I was at, it was a college prep school, boarding/day. It was up in Claremont. Okay. I taught there, and it's just all encompassing. Yeah. When you're a teacher there, I was a resident faculty. I lived on campus. Oh, wow. So you're just involved. Yeah. And I had no outsourced. I wasn't able to do music as much. I did like one show a month, and it was just it wasn't enough for me. And I also like I got my master's, and I was trying to think of a way to go into administration, like to try to get into communications and whatnot, because I wanted to further my career. Yeah. And it just didn't work out there. But I went to high school there too, so it kind of like ironically worked out, like where I'm still very close with everybody there. It wasn't like I didn't leave on bad terms. I left on very good terms. But in moving to my new job, I do web content management at Stetson University. Oh, cool. Yeah. I've been doing that for 2 years now out in DeLane. That's why I live in Sanford, so it's like a good halfway point. Oh, wow. But moving out there and doing that opened me up to have a life, because I just work from 8 to 4:30. I don't work from 7:30 to 6:30 at night anymore. Right. You know, and so as soon as I started doing that, I went from one show a month to boom, 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 like show after show, and it's just been awesome.
And that had to impact your creative process dramatically, I would think.
Yeah, because I only had like 4 songs. Yeah. And I went from 4 songs to like 15. Yeah. In a 2-month span. Also had a breakup in the middle of that, which like that can really that's what really hit me with my album. Like it's a lot of it is like influence from the breakup, but you know, you need the little heartbreak in your songs to be able to move forward.
Yeah, well,
and it was definitely helpful. It was more like after I wrote some of those songs, like "See You Later." That's what it's about. Yeah. And after I wrote it, and like seeing the potential in the song, I was like, thank you for the break. Like after a while, it's like I appreciate that this happened now. I understand that this had to happen, whether I wanted it to or not. Right. In order to find myself, in order to take this route or this direction. So. Yeah.
That's great,
man. Yeah, man. You learn a lot.
The breakup, but that
you learn a lot in life. Life is all about. It's all about chapters, man. I've always looked at life as chapters.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you always, from my own experience with breakups specifically, I always learn a lot later, but I'm always super self-destructive for a while.
Usually, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. I was a mess for a good bit there. I actually stopped writing. I stopped playing shows for like a good 4 or 5 months. Yeah. I was just like, I'm done. Right. I just don't want to do it. And then I just was so fed up with feeling that way that I picked up the guitar and I just started writing. Yeah. And it was like, okay, here's where you can go with this. I went and did an open mic at Will's Pub and I played See You Later for the first time. I didn't even have the bridge yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was crazy. I was so filled with emotion that night. But I went up and I played a couple songs and then I was like, all right, this is my own original. It's brand new. I just wanted to try it out, see what you think. There were like 6 people there. Yeah. And I played it just tears and sweat and all. I was just like, just like filled. And then by the end of the bridge, or when I got to the bridge, I was like, oh shit, I don't have a bridge. Yeah. And so then I just started winging it. And then luckily somebody filmed it. It was Janine Gage. She runs the ukulele jam in town. Oh, cool. She also works over at the Imperial. Okay. But she filmed it and like posted it on Facebook, and that's the only way that I would have had that same bridge. Wow. Because I couldn't remember it for the life of me.
Well, I was talking to Kev about that, how like if it's not down somewhere. Yep. Right. So like if I have an idea for a short story or like something for my show or whatever, if I don't put it down, that's why I always have a journal on me. If I don't put it down right away, it's gone.
It's gone. I have song ideas in my voice memo, and the phone, for some reason, my old phone decided to erase all of the titles of every recording. So I have like thousands of recordings in there of stuff I don't know. Like I just don't know. I haven't tapped into any of it yet.
Are you going to?
Yeah, I need to. I need to sit down and like actually do it. But like the thing is I'm constantly writing.
That's great.
So Kyle Keller actually invited me to join this songwriting group. And it's actually the songwriting group is called Nobody Gives a Damn About Songs Anymore. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing.
That's great.
Abe Partridge started it. He's from Alabama and he's like on the rise. Abe Partridge. He has this like real raspy, like gritty sound, and he's just honest. He used to be a pastor. Oh, okay. He works in one of the military forces, but he's traveling everywhere. Huge name, Abe Partridge. There's my plug. But he started this songwriting group where he has friends from all over the country. There are maybe like 30 of us, and we do an 8-week songwriting intensive program. Every week you're given a prompt, and you have to use that prompt in the song that you write that week, and then you have to publish this or post the song on SoundCloud by Sunday at midnight, and then share the link to the Facebook page.
Dope.
And then everybody gives positive feedback only on what they liked about your songs.
Dope.
Yeah. I'm on my 3rd one right now. I think I might be bailing this week. I've already written 5 songs from it. So if you went to my SoundCloud right now, you could hear some new tracks that like I don't push out because I don't want anybody to hear them yet. But because they are on SoundCloud, like everybody
listening to the show right now, by the way, is going to your SoundCloud.
There'll be like 50 listens, and I'll be like, oh no, I want to make this private. It's not ready. I'm not ready for it. But yeah, it's a pretty cool thing, man. I wrote. What sucks is I started doing it while I was recording my album, and we already had all the tracks like ready to roll. Yeah. There was no going back on it. Like we were already recording everything. I wasn't going to change the lineup. And then I wrote this song called That Fight in the Desert. And it's like a fictional story because I have an English background as well. I'm an English major, and I've written short stories just for myself or for school or whatever. It's something that I love doing, but I don't do enough of it.
Right.
But I wrote this fictional song about a couple having an argument in the middle of the desert and having a fight because their car broke down and they're hot and they're miserable and life sucks and they just hate each other right now. And the guy leaves his girlfriend at the car, or girlfriend, wife, whatever it might be. Yeah. Leaves her at the car and is going to that gas station, and it's like his thoughts while he's going to the gas station. Like, I don't know if I want to go back. I don't know if I want to go back to that relationship. Like, I might go to the gas station. I might never walk back. That's like the like one of the lines. And as soon as I wrote it, I was like, man, this might be one of the best songs I've written. And I wanted to put it on this album so bad, but like I said, I committed to this sound, and the new track and the other tracks that I've written, it's evolving.
Right.
You know, I'm getting to a point where I have a band now, and I'm trying to add to the band. I'm working on getting a horn section because that's just been a dream of mine. Awesome. I want like the Nathaniel Rateliff and Night Sweats like treatment. Like I just want I just want that. I want whatever Nathaniel Rateliff is doing. He has the solo. He has like his solo stuff, and then he has the full band stuff. That's it. That's the pathway that I'm working on.
Simple request. I just want to be
Nathaniel Rateliff.
Piece of cake
for a day, just to learn. But that's where I'm heading. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. We're taking those steps. You're doing the work. You know, I mean, that's really impressive.
Thank you.
The amount of work that you do. I mean, to work all day and then to play that many gigs, dude.
Yeah. Everybody at work keeps being like, they're like, so how many shows do you have this weekend? And like every time I say it, they go, damn, or wow, or like, oh no, that's crazy. But I do the day work to have a living. Yeah. And I play the shows to live, if that makes sense. My livelihood and to actually live. Like, I want to do music. It's one of those things where like growing up, I never really thought. Not that anybody, like, my parents never doubted me, but they always wanted me to have they wanted me to have a work ethic and have a job. Right. They never wanted me to be without. Yeah. And so that was really instilled in my mind that I need to have a day job. So I worked at it. I went to school, I went and did this, and I went to grad school, and I taught, realized I didn't want to do it there. And then this happened. It was like I took care of that first. Yeah. And then the music thing followed. And then it was like, well, you could actually fulfill your dreams that you don't tell anybody about because you're shy about it. Yeah. It was always my dream to be a musician or a singer-songwriter or in a band, like whatever it was. I've always been surrounded by music. I've been playing guitar since I was a kid. And you just get to a point where things start falling into place. And I didn't see that coming, I guess. That's my whole thing is like, and I think that's why I relate to BJ so much. Mm-hmm. I listened to his podcast with Joe Pug, and he was talking about how his family pushed him to go to law school, and he was like, I'm not connected to him. I'm not related to him in this way. He's a genius, like a really smart guy. Worked his butt off, like went to was gonna go to law school and all this stuff, and then he said he got this bug. He played one song in front of a crowd, and everybody like loved it, and it was like done deal. Yeah, and that's how it happened for me. That's awesome. I got the bug. Yeah. And like when you could play to a crowd where nobody's listening, and that's fine. But by the end of the night, if they're actually into your stuff, then you've had a successful night. Right. Like most of the venues that I play, it's a rough start because people are talking. It's the crowd that wants to chat. Right. And you're just there just to kind of like warm up anyway. Right. And then like once you hit your second set, that's where like your stride picks up. And it's like that's what we live for, is that stride, the moment where like you hear the woos and the claps and the people saying great set afterwards, like you thrive off of that. Right. Like I try to stay humble as much as I possibly can, but to hear people come up and want to meet me, man, that's just like, that's cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. It's really cool. I don't think about it as much as I probably should. Yeah. But when you do, it's special. Right, especially in those moments that you're like, oh, my songs suck. I don't know if you go through these, but I'm sure you do. Yeah. Like everything I write is stupid. Yep. Those kinds of that we all have highs and lows that we all go through, you know? Yeah. We were talking about that, Kevin and I were talking about that, how I went through a period like that, and I just kind of got out of it.
just by getting up and doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just by going, all right, I'm not gonna let this beat me. This moment, this is my anxiety talking. It's not anything real. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not rooted in reality. You got to reality test that stuff.
You do. And you know, I've always, like I said before, I've always been a firm believer of leaving it on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do something in this industry, I guess,
sure,
you have to be all encompassing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anybody helping me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I book, I do promotions. I don't, because everything costs money.
Right.
So if I do a video, I'm investing in it. If I do a promo, and I can't do it well enough, I'm hiring somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
And that's money. And so all the money that I'm making throughout these cover shows, it just funnels into itself.
Yeah. And
it's like a revolving thing. There was some that I wanted to tell you because I saw that Austin Lucas came onto your show as well.
Yeah.
So Austin had a guitar built for him from scratch by this guy named Stacy Adams in DeBerry. So big shout out to Stacy Adams.
Cool.
Right? I went to Austin Lucas's show last fall, and I know Luke's probably going to talk about Austin Lucas, right? I think I saw that. Yeah. So I won't get too far into Austin Lucas because that guy's awesome too.
He's amazing.
I saw his show, and in the middle of the show, he said, "There's, this guitar was built from scratch. It's originally built. No other guitar like it. That man over there built it. If any musicians in this crowd want a guitar built, I highly recommend you go talk to him." So obviously, like, I went over and talked to him, and he's done a couple repairs on my guitars for me. He used to work at Lyrical Lumber in Maitland, and we just became really good friends. Like, I'll go over and, like, he'll, like, tune up my guitar or, like, do something, or, new strings and clean it and everything, and we'll just talk shop. The guy knows so much about guitars, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And he's building me a guitar.
That's amazing.
And so, like, so I'm, like, really excited about that.
Oh.
The thought of having one guitar in the world that's like nobody else's is just like the craziest thought. It's like the one thing you didn't know you always wanted.
Right.
You know? So I'm really excited about
That's
that.
awesome,
It'll be ready in February.
What a fun connection to the show.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Austin Lucas and I have been bantering back and forth on Instagram, which is kind of funny. Like he posts photos of him with his guitar, and I'll be like, "I'm joining your club soon." Just saying. And he goes, "You lucky duck."
He's great, man.
No, he's a real cool guy.
That conversation was amazing. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it, but he was like...
I didn't get to hear that one yet.
Oh, it's great. We caught up at Sing Out Loud. That lineup was ridiculous. It was
I know. I was so bummed I missed it while I was in it.
Oh, nice.
And I was on the weekend before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't there.
I played at the Gamble Rogers
stage.
Over off of Aviles Street. I did it a weekend before. It was like a last minute ad.
Oh man, yeah. I'm bummed I missed that. It was like, Chuck Reagan, Austin Lucas, Tim Berry, Lucero, Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. I interviewed Chuck, Austin, and Sadler Vaden all on the same day.
That's ridiculous.
It was crazy.
Did you catch Christina Wagner's set too?
I did.
Do you know Christina?
I know Christina. Yeah,
I've talked with her a few times.
Yeah, I used to live in Jacksonville.
Oh, really?
So yeah. Okay. So
I was supposed to play at the Blue Jay.
Yeah.
I'm working with them to get a show going next year.
That's awesome. Seth Walker, who was on my show, just played there.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Christina and I go back a little bit.
No, that's cool. She's really nice.
Yeah, she's great. She's beautiful voice.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's crazy good.
And great songs.
Yeah. I was trying to get a show at Rain Dogs with her, and she was like, "It's only originals ever," and I was like, "That's awesome. You should tell everybody that."
Yeah.
It's like there and Hideaway Cafe in St. Pete. It's the same deal. It's like only originals. I love that.
That room is great, man. Yeah. It's Rain Dogs was kind of one of my regular bars when I lived there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Used to live
I've heard great things. I know Richard Sherfy played there.
Oh, really?
And I talked with him about it, and he was like, "Man, it's a cool venue."
Yeah, it's cool. So. I've seen Corey Brandon there more than once.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, tiny little room, you know.
Yeah, I bet. Those are the best venues, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that transcends into house shows. Those are trending. I mean, So Far Sounds, they're trending, and like you getting booked at house shows and just having people who are willing to go and see you play, and just throw a donation out there.
Yeah.
Like $10. Bring your own booze. Like sit there and just listen to us play. That was awesome.
That's
so when
great.
Kyle, I've done like two excuse me, I'm trying to do some more next year. That's like my goal, is to like start traveling around and do more house shows. But yeah, Kyle and I did that one in Savannah, and it was like to 12 people.
Right.
They all worked at they all used to work at a restaurant that I went up and played at in Tybee Island. And so it was just like, it was nice to kind of know some of the people there, and some musicians in town that I've been in communication with. They came, and so it was like everybody just hung out, and Kyle and I just,
how cool.
We just took turns playing songs.
That's
we had
great.
like Kyle had girls crying.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because he's like, I'm sorry. They're like, oh my god, that was so good. That was so good. So
I feel like that's the
special.
ultimate compliment for
it
a
really is.
songwriter
Those
right
are the
there.
most intimate. I'll admit, I tear up when I'm up there sometimes. I just did Layla Brisbane runs runs an originals only open mic in Winter Garden at the Attic Door, and I think we're changing venues, but she does that there every other Monday. And my voice has been a little hoarse. I was sick last week, so like I'm still trying to get back into it, and I couldn't sing that well on Monday, but it was the last one of the year, and she always asks us to go, so I went, and I couldn't sing Clouds. My song Clouds, I just couldn't sing it. I knew that it wasn't going to be good enough. And so she and Zach Meadows both came up and sang it, and I was just like in the back, like just strumming it, and like just knowing that they know those words, and they know the power behind it and the way that they can make it their own. It's like to have your own friend play your song. I'm learning that that's just like, it's such a sentimental thing. There's so much value to that.
Right.
You know?
It's a piece of you that a friend of yours is then interpreting and playing. That's beautiful.
So yeah, it's just been a lot of things like that have just been really cool. Really special stuff.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'd love to hear some of those songs.
For sure.
Or at least one of them.
Yeah.
If you want to do one day at a time, or whatever you want to do off of Things Change.
I can do one. Yeah. I'll do one day at a time first. I think that's wide-eyed and 21, another shot Jameson to calm my nerves before this nightly masquerade. People saw us nonchalant, a complex condition response, a chemical reaction, brown liquor and self-doubt. So I can stand up on this stage like a guilty child, avoiding blame. I kick, I scream, I curse the name of the girls that walked away. You see, the man left holding the pen controls how every story ends. The truth becomes a martyr for the sake of the song. Yeah, I'm in a good place. I'm walking that straight line. I'm getting along, riding these roads one day at a time. Years of drinks were just a crutch until the drinks were just too much. I guess it comes with a job. Hail, hail, rock and roll. You see, the songs fulfill a human need to sit back and watch another man bleed. So for a moment, we don't have to feel sorry for ourselves. This imaginary confidence became the first line of defense. If you don't let them in, boy, they'll never let you down. Oh, but you broke through and you took control, the sweetheart of the rodeo. And for the first time, I found something I couldn't afford to lose. Yeah, I'm in a good place. I'm walking that straight line. I'm getting along, riding these roads one day at a time.
Every now and then I miss the way that highball glass would kiss my lips like a long lost love welcoming me home. Oh, but I don't miss the highs and lows, the back and forth, the ebb and flow, letting down the people who were standing up for me. Yeah, I'm in a good place. I'm walking that straight line. I'm getting along around these wrongs one day at a time. Yeah, I'm just getting along around these wrongs one day at a time.
Yeah. I love that song, man.
Great song.
That's such a good song.
You did it justice too.
Props to BJ in that band, man.
Real.
Thank you.
Man, it sounded great, Jordan.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it did.
All right, so this is Give to Get a Day.
Saw you standing there with a worry on your face. Well, the next move I'd make, but that just wasn't the case. You just had to walk away. As I stood there before you, like the pillar of the courtroom, not the plaintiff on parade. When I'm asked about the day, I remember the breath you take and the rejection in your eyes, but the projection didn't fade. I don't blame you anymore for the mess we hadn't made. Like my father once told me, you gotta get to get it day. Think on those words now. as if I were to invade all of your pretty space on the floor we didn't lay. And I remember your face as a pretty one by the bed, as we dreamt about the future and watched it all fade away. As we dreamt about the future and watched it all fade away. As we dreamt about the future and watched it all fade away. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
Thank you.
Dude, thank you so much.
I'm glad you enjoyed
You got
it.
some gold there.
All right.
That's
It felt good. I
good.
felt something there.
Good.
It's rare. It's a rare thing to like. I don't know. I came with it.
That's
I came with it
awesome.
today. I
That's
feel good.
awesome.
It's a busy day, so I feel it's a busy day. So this is a good little,
Nice little warm up.
nice little warm up. Thank you for having me, guys. This is awesome. So cool that you guys are that you're doing this. You're helping. That's so awesome.
Thanks.
Did you do the artwork, by the way?
Yeah.
So cool. I really like it. Yeah, that was one of the first things I saw when I started following you. I was like, dang, that's cool artwork.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's all her.
Thanks.
right on. Sometimes I wish you severed the tie and cutting me off by closing all the blinds. Now I have to stay awake one more time so that my world will once again be fine.
Jordan Foley, y'all. How about those tunes at the end? Once again, you can follow Jordan's music and links to his social media at jordanfoleymusic.com. Follow the Marinade with Jason Earle on social media if you don't already. We're at Marinade Podcast. You can also listen to the show at marinadepodcast.com and keep up with things that are going on. Keep rating us wherever you consume podcasts if you like what we're doing. And also, if you can swing it, for just a few dollars a month, you can make a huge difference to this show. Head on over to patreon.com and search The Marinade with Jason Earle for a chance to get access to exclusive content like our Patreon-only show, Jason's Journey, as well as swag like stickers, magnets, and now hats. That's right, we have the Marinade with Jason Earle hats coming very soon, and our Patreon patrons will get the first dibs on purchasing a hat, and then we'll put them up for sale to anyone else over on marinadepodcast.com. All right, y'all, it's time for What I'm Getting Down On, the segment where I share the books, the music, the films, etc. that are inspiring me at the moment. Not a whole lot has changed since the last episode, but I would like to just take a minute to acknowledge someone Jordan mentioned during the show. Richard Scherfy passed away just a few days after Jordan and I sat down to record this episode. Friends of mine had long recommended Richard's music to me, but for some reason I just kept missing his shows, and I kept forgetting to look up his music. And then finally, unfortunately, it took his passing for me to really dive deep. And what a loss it was to the Orlando music community here. And my condolences go out to Richard's friends and family and loved ones. I did not know him personally, but he left behind some incredible music. And for that, I'm very grateful. As of this recording, you can find 3 tracks from his album, Oz, Oz, and Shalaz, and I wish I knew whether the rest of the album will be released at some point, but like I said, unfortunately, he was gone from this world before I began to really learn about him. Mike Dunn, who you can find at Mike Dunn USA on social media, wrote a gorgeous tribute to Richard that I highly recommend. Once again, my condolences to his friends and loved ones. Rest in peace, Richard. The other things that I've been getting down on, mostly Jeff Tweedy. I've just been reading that book that I mentioned the last time. If you haven't already, go back and listen to episode 24 with Luke Wagner. And all things Wilco have been consuming my time. I also picked up listening to Aaron Ray's Putting on Airs, which came out this past year, 2018. Absolutely fantastic. And one of the recommendations that Tweety makes is a band called Aphrodite's Child. It's pretty out there. Really, really cool stuff. Sounds like the soundtrack to The End of the World. And I think that's even the name of the record, is something like End of the World. So check those guys out. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you to Jordan for your time and talents. I appreciate you so much, everybody. Thank you to BJ for all you've done for this show. And until next time, cheers, y'all.
Oh, I know is when I sing this tune, I will hold you. It's my see you later to her. My see you later to her. My see you later.